I'm Ryan Newman, and since I started with Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives, I found out that some people think that they can't be an organ donor. The truth is, anyone can sign up to be an organ donor.
Anyone?
Anyone?
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. Anyone can sign up to be an organ donor. So don't count yourself out because somebody's counting on you. Go to driventosavelives.org and sign up today.
But my heart's going to you, Ryan.
Love that shirt.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the National Racing Network and our live coverage of the TNT Shock Series. Coming to you tonight from Richmond Raceway, 3/4 of a mile oval, right in the heart of Henry County, I guess. Henrico County, whatever it is. Richmond.
That's right outside the city of Richmond.
Yeah, it's literally like on the city limits. The Richmond Fairgrounds. My name is Chris Graham, joining the booth by a guy you've already heard jumping in, Patrick Byrne. Hope you are having a fantastic Tuesday night. And I'll tell you what, Bizzle, this race, getting ready for qualifying here, but things could be interesting because it's oval week for the PM18s, but they're not at Richmond. They're out in Phoenix. So a lot of these guys have been running oval week stuff, maybe haven't practiced as much here at Richmond. Some guys putting a lot of laps in. We could see that make a difference tonight.
Yeah, it just depends on what everyone's focus is. Do they want the points? Do they want that watch? Do they care more about TNT, or do they care more about that iRating, going for the grind, getting as many points as you can in the official series? Because this week it's a split for these guys. They're at an oval both places this week, so it's up to you to decide which one you want to win.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, and seeing Wes Shire and Andrew Berry there on the screen, two of the guys that have been dominant in this series, and Andrew Berry, two of the best, and Andrew Berry, the dominant name in practice, 19.440 seconds, the lap time of record for Andrew Berry. But, this is the big but, we're going to have, 20 cars on the starting grid tonight. That could be absolutely wild as we'll pick up Andrew Berry, and let's take a look. How about Nee Camargo? We'll get Nee here on the second camera feed. Get you the timing tower up here as well so you can see where your favorites are lining up in qualifying. Laps are going to go by in a hurry here. As we mentioned, 19-second laps. First one coming up on the board for Andrew Berry, and it is quick time, 19.54. A little obvious for the first guy out on the racetrack. Alex Teeter, second in. He's going to be 0.6 back. Good lap from Nick Camargo at a 19.82. Still about a quarter of a second back, though. Steven C. Thompson, better lap, still a little bit slow, though. Let's pick up lap number 2 for the 24 of Thompson. Berry does not improve on lap number 1, about a 10th off of where he was best lap in practice. Nick Camargo jumping up to position number 2 with a lap of 19.624 seconds. Pick up Wes Shire down in the bottom right-hand corner of your screen. One of those guys that is going to be very, very quick. Lap number 1 for Jason Owens. How about not on the scoreboard? He's going to have to do something big here in lap number 2. Go down, pick up Brian Labarge. Lap number 2 for Jason Owens. Not good. 20.944 seconds. He is going to be disappointed with that qualification run. Take a look now. Grab Ben Carswell, the Pizza at the Pagoda entry. And Zach Nurenberger down in the lower right-hand corner. Nurenberger coming across the line to complete lap number 2. He's going to go from 13th to, well, looks like 13th is where he will finish up here. And we'll take a look at Jason Padu. Oh, good lap for Carswell. Lap number 2, 19.776. 19.776 for Ben Carswell. That's going to be good enough to put him up to the 7th position. Now taking a look here, Kylo Ciacelli coming around to complete his qualification run. Lap number 1, third, quick, 19.673 seconds. He did not score on lap 1. That was lap number 2. That brings up James Watson. He's going to be one of the last to get a lap in the books here. Actually, we got one more out here, so let's take a look at Peter Donchak. Get him back up in the Carvana colors in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. See what Watson can do on lap number 1. It will be 17th quick, 20.348 seconds. Peter Donchak's first lap, not bad, 20.011. Going to slot him into 16th. Watson already coming around to complete lap number 2. Minute 37 seconds left. We will not need it. Lap number 2 for Watson is third, quick, 19.66 with a 3. 19.663 seconds for the 39 of James Watson. Peter Donchak getting himself up, and he's going for a ride. Tearing the whole right front corner off as he finishes his qualification run. Donchak going to be 17th quick on the board at a 20.011. Interesting stuff here, Bizzle, because I'm seeing some good numbers. Guys like Andrew Berry, James Watson, Kylo Ciacelli, Wes Shire, and a couple of names we're a little bit unfamiliar with seeing up front. Nick Camargo's qualified very well. Can he show the pace over the full race distance, though? That's going to be the key for him tonight.
I am surprised with how far off the mark Jason Owens is. I mean, the whole field you can throw over a blanket if that blanket was a second long. And then Jason Owens is outside that bubble. Something must have happened.
We got the message from him. My optimal would have been P3. Lesson, don't 0x the wall on your first timed lap. Yeah.
Oh, man.
Can't bang it off the fence, and Owens is going to have some work to do here this evening. His qualifications are finishing up. Got to thank everybody tuned in on YouTube and on Twitch. Give us a shout. Let us know where you're watching from. We'll be able to get your comments up on the air here. Qualifications are over. It is about time to go racing. We'll get everybody lined up on the grid. Let's take a look at it here. Bizzle says he's watching from the broadcast booth. That works, buddy. Good to see you're working hard for us here, man. Andrew Berry, Nick Camargo going to line up on the front row for this one. 75,000 separating your top two. James Watson, Kylo Ciacelli on row number 2. A couple of Team Watson Racing entries there. Ciacelli, the Limo Boys Racing with TWR entry. Westshire in the Homestead Coffee Tales from Rukon, number 16, lining up alongside the NASA liveried number 8 of Ryan Labarge. Simon Fell, Stephen C. Thompson on row number 4. Row 5 is going to have Shadow Jesus, Ben Carswell, and the 3 of Jason Miller. Joe Varvel, Mike Long on row number 6. Row 7 tonight going to have Dave Sparks and Alex Teeter. Nagisa Yoshikawa, Jason Padu on row number 8. Big surprise there to see Yoshikawa back in the 15th position here this evening. Row number 9, Peter Donchak and Zach Nurenberger. And all the way back on row number 10, Jason Owens and Rick Cleary. 20 cars for tonight's 50-minute long race, and that will make a difference. How you manage fuel over the course of this first stint excuse me, how you manage fuel, that really could make a difference. Pit windows anywhere from 55 to 70 laps long, depending on when the caution flies.
Yeah, it's not so much of an if here at Richmond. This is a tried and true pack race, insanity. There's going to be a couple cars wadded up, I think, before the first 10 minutes are up in this one.
Yeah, I would say a distinct possibility of that happening. Some of it's just not... you just can't put these cars that close together, and we've seen it before. A little bit of netcode goes a long way, and it could wad up a lot of race cars here if it happens at the front of the field. Pace car leading them through turns 3 and 4. Going to be 2 pace laps here for this one as the field, as the racetrack under 1 mile in length. So they will get a second lap behind the iRacing safety car.
Looks like James Watson has a new scheme for this week. Same color scheme, but it looks like it has some checkerboard on the side of it. It's pretty neat. Nice touch.
Yeah, let's take a look. Actually, we can go on board here with Mr. Watson.
Out of the helmet cam. Yeah, let's see how he starts this thing.
We'll see when the pace car makes the left-hand turn. There it is. Off of turn number 4. Green flags in the air. We are underway. Oh, man, they're getting way bottled up on the outside lane of the racetrack. Not the way you want to start things early on here if you're towards the back of the pack a little bit. Andrew Berry getting away. He's going to have Watson and Ciacelli right in tow. Camargo slots into 4th, but how about it? Watson to the inside. He wants the race lead at lap 1.
He's just coming off a Silver Crown win earlier today, so he's still riding that high and trying to get the lead in this one again.
Ooh, almost making contact there with Andrew Berry. Let's go on board with Watson here. Caution is out. Yellow flag on the speedway. First caution flag of the night, and it looks like we may have some big-time issues at the back of the pack. Let's take a look here and see what happened. Oh, Peter Donchak just kind of has a little bit of a spin. He was getting on the brakes because there were other issues going on here. Looks like Dave Sparks and Joe Varvel may have been involved. Been a little bit of early fisticuffs here. Let's see what happened. Oh, yeah, a couple of cars going around.
Yeah.
Actually, looked like the 3 of Jason Miller may have been involved in that one as well. And, yeah, Miller's going to be on his way down.
In the pits now.
Miller is on his way down pit lane, as is Jason Owens in the 87. I'm thinking early fuel stop here. Basically, if you're going to get a bunch of cautions early, if you're Jason Owens, keep the thing packed full of fuel and extend your window as long as you possibly can. So there you have Owens coming off of pit lane, and your race leaders already making their way down the front straightaway. You do lose a lot of time here on pit lane. That's something these drivers are going to have to be at least a little bit concerned with. You want to try to not make a green flag pit stop here if at all possible.
Yeah, you just lose too much time here at Richmond. You have to make them under yellow, and you don't know when the yellows are going to come. This could be the only yellow of the race, and I've seen some of these races that we've called are going to be caution fests go flag to flag, so you never know what's going to happen.
Let's take a look. Kevin Smalley checking in the comments here. That's the way to do it here. Spoken from a guy who's really good.
Andrew Berry getting real intimate with that pace car, Tony Stewart style.
Easier to pass on pitch strategy than on track. That is the truth. That is almost
Yes, it is.
penetration. Almost.
He did before.
Just the tip, you might say.
Just a nose cone.
Just the tip of the nose.
And demonetized.
On that note, lights are out on the iRacing safety car. We're going to get ready to go back to green flag racing. God, we haven't, at least I haven't even had a beer yet tonight, so no excuse for my mind in the gutter. You, on the other hand, we know you're enjoying something German over there, I believe. Or no, gin, actually.
Yes, I've had like 3 sips, though.
Oh, okay. So we're not quite there yet. Green flag
Not
back
yet.
in the air. We're underway. Berry gets a fantastic jump. He's going to check out early. Kylo Ciacelli able to hold off James Watson early on. We'll slide back a little bit. See where the battles are going to start shaping up. I mean, everybody is nose to tail here, and that's something that the single file restart, that really changes the complexity of things, because the reality is your battles are not happening instantaneously on the restart. You kind of get a lap or two to get a feel for things, as we see Wes Shire doing here.
Yeah, and just like the plate tracks in NASCAR, you have to let these cars get up to speed here. You got to let the tires come back up to temp, and the draft needs to actually build up before the car feels right. These cars are inherently loose on restarts because how tight they get in the draft.
Caution is out on the speedway once again. Caution flag number 2. And let's see here. Possibly, let's see, Peter Donchak maybe having an issue in the 13. Oh, yeah, he just looped it. Wow. Jason Owens got an eye full off of turn number 2. Let's,
do we have anyone in Indiana that can send over a pair of ball bags to him?
Yes. Let's take a look here. On board with Jason Owens. The twitch, the wiggle, the spin. Oh, just a little breathe of the throttle. We're all good.
Like a pro.
Yeah, like he's been there before. Kevin Smalley is checking in the comments again in relation to our previous discussion. Time for an F1 Noses of the Last Decade review?
Let's talk about the SF-14.
If we want to talk about the tips, there were some doozies. First, though, let's take a look. Cars on pit road include, let's see, Alex Teeter, Zach Nuremberger, Simon Fell was also on pit lane, I believe, and Jason Owens going to top off the tanks in his 87 machine as well. Looks like Jason Miller, Joe Varvel, Dave Sparks, all out of the running here. Oh, interesting call, Wes Shire, the first strategy play of the night. Wes Shire making his way down pit lane. He will give up the 4th position. I think they're close. If you take the number of 55 and 70, you put it somewhere around, say, 60 to 65 laps. You're really close on being able to make it on one stop here, one additional stop. We're seeing about 132 laps remaining is a maximum. If you're Kylo Ciacelli, Andrew Berry, any of those guys, you're going to have to make that stop. You possibly have to make 2 stops if we get a long green flag run.
Yeah, Westshire is just cutting one of those out, as well as if we get another caution 15 laps from now. It's hard to pass on the racetrack, but he's going to get those spots back up when they go, when they have to pit under caution.
Taking a look at the Hot Shoe Raceway instant replay, Kylo Ciacelli, oh buddy, hanging the ass end out off of turn number 2, but getting the job done to pass for the race lead. That occurred about a third of a lap before the caution flag flew. About 6 seconds or so before the caution flag. So Kylo Ciacelli will be your race leader for the restart, followed by Andrew Berry, James Watson, Nick Camargo, and Brian Labarge. And by the way, Kevin, on your F1 Noses question, I believe it was Caterham for the win.
Yes, that one was particularly phallic.
Yes, that's one way of putting it.
It was a real tool in the draft, though.
I see what you did there. Speaking of tools, the guy who thought it was a good idea to put a diamond in the nose of a couple F1 cars, like $500,000 diamonds at Monaco. The weekend they were premiering James Bond at the Monaco Grand Prix, and they wrecked the car and lost the diamond.
That's fantastic.
Some marshal somewhere has a $500,000 diamond he can't do anything with. Green flag back in the air, just about 10 minutes in here as we work lap number 15. Ciacelli going to lead off to turn 1. Watson not quite close enough to charge on Andrew Berry. Stephen C. Thompson looking inside of Brian Labarge. Ben Carswell, Nagisa Yoshikawa also going to be side by side down the front straightaway. I'll tell you what, the call by Westshire to pit, I'm liking more and more. Timing updates, and I'm seeing about 118 laps left to go. Oh, trouble on the racetrack for Brian Labarge. He's up into the wall in a big way. May have other cars involved at the tail end of that one as well. Labarge has to take the tow. Take a look and see what happened here. It was right at the entrance to turn 3. Carswell got underneath. Oh, I don't know if that was contact or net code.
Well, he sure sent that nasty
buddy.
card at space.
Yes, to the moon. Let's take a look at it from the overhead.
Who was that car sliding in the frame?
That's the one that I'm trying to figure that one out as well. Take a look and see if there was any contact between Carswell and Labarge.
Netcode strikes again.
That's brutal.
Whee!
Absolutely brutal. Cars making some pit stops here as well. James Watson is in and out. Very quick stop there for Watson. Teeter, Carswell, Long, and Cleary also on pit lane. Brian Labarge looks like he will be done for the night and finish in the 17th position. Let's see. Trying to figure out who that car was. That was Rick Cleary that went sliding through there. Let's go on board with Rick Cleary. The incident happens well ahead. Oh, buddy.
I would imagine he has his car set up with the same way I set mine up, and he might actually be using like my 3-year-old setup that is terrible anymore. Because that looked a lot like how my cars snap, which is the danger of them. You know, you see an accident coming up, you get off the throttle, and the thing just spins out on you. Yeah, just looks like liftoff oversteer, and he's lucky to miss that thing. Wow.
Better to be lucky than good sometimes. Is Rick Cleary going to make his way down the pit lane? We'll pick up race leader Kylo Ciacelli. Last time the series ran, it was one of the road courses for the season. Twin Ring Motegi East. Kylo Ciacelli taking the victory in that one ahead of Nagisa Yoshikawa, Andrew Berry, Wes Shire, and Jason Miller. Unfortunately, don't have point standings just yet, at least, anyway. But we'll do our best to get you an update on those at some point here in the evening. Taking a look at the rest of the schedule coming up here for the TNT Shock Series. We kind of get into a little bit of a rhythm now. We had a few weeks off around the holidays. We come back in 2 weeks with a visit to Phoenix, or the free version of Phoenix Raceway.
The real version of Phoenix Raceway.
That is correct. Follow that up February 21st with a visit to the Nashville Fairgrounds. Actually, January 24th, we also have a race as well down at Five Flags in Florida, the artist formerly known as Five Flags. Hickory, Pocono, and then the Homestead Roval by the time we get to April. But got a whole lot to settle here tonight as we're just inside of 36 minutes remaining. Green flag goes back in the air. Kylo Ciacelli tried to go Colton Herta on the field. Not able to make it work. Did back him up a little bit deeper in the field. Oh, buddy. That was tight up front. Zach Nurenberger and Simon Fell almost getting into it. Jason Owens going to be right there. Oh, man, they're bouncing off each other up front as well. Nick Camargo may have smacked the outside wall. Good Lord, action happening all over the racetrack here. Pick up the race leaders in the lower right-hand corner of the screen. They're about a car length and a half apart as they cross the start-finish line, but the battle between Nurenberger and Owens was side by side at the line. It's going to go to Nurenberger as they get to turn one. You almost wonder here, Patrick, are we seeing a little bit of the discussion we had earlier about guys they're going to run oval week for points instead of prepping for shock? Maybe seeing a little bit of that kind of coming to fruition here. Richmond is not an easy place to get around. And if you don't get a bunch of laps in practice, things may not go well for you come race time.
No, in the PM18, this is one of the most difficult tracks because it's very similar to Iowa, where Iowa we have a pack race more because Iowa's a little more banked than this. Richmond, you do have to give her a little lift once in a while, and it's a bit more understeer, it's a bit more single file, so you can't get that second line built up to get the huge runs and make the big moves. So if you're not on the mark each and every lap and you're not going just as fast as you can, then you're not going to be towards the front. That's why we're seeing Funk's name. Zachary Nurenberger, he's usually really good on the ovals. Jason Owens, he wins most of the things on the ovals. James Watson, seeing him back there is a little weird. So, not sure what's going on tonight with these guys. They've been focusing too much on Phoenix.
Well, some of this we also have to bear in mind. Owens and Watson have pitted. The top five have not yet. Ciacelli, Barry Thompson, Yoshikawa, and Camargo have not stopped. Everybody else on the racetrack has made at least one stop. Owens has made two. Wes Shire has made two, along with Alex Teeter, Rick Cleary, and Peter Donchak. When you don't have to worry about limited tire sets like we see in the Sim Racers Club events, those races, you're kind of stuck with, I have to save tires because I've only got two sets. The Shock Series lets you change them as much as you want. quite frankly, because sometimes it's better to not take them. So it does kind of change things a little bit in that you really don't have that consideration when you're planning pit strategy. It's more just how do you make the fuel number work.
Yeah, it's always been interesting to me how this car doesn't love new tires all the time. Like, cold tires suck on this thing. The car just wants to kill you for about 3-4 laps, and then it's golden. And they never fall off.
Picking up the battle for the lead is Andrew Berry looking inside of Kylo Ciacelli. That's going to be one of the better fights on the racetrack. There we go. We'll go back to the side-by-side view here. Is Berry looking inside of Ciacelli. No love lost between these two either. Andrew Berry's comments in the podium interviews last race, these guys not really buddies, I guess you could say. Absolutely going to change how you race someone too.
Yeah, if you're not happy with someone the way they've raced you, you're not going to race them very nicely. So you can see Kylo giving Andrew all the room he needs and going, you know what? I don't want to fight like this early in the race. But they're still going to stay side by side. He's not going to back out of it just yet. And they almost touch right there. No one's giving an inch anymore.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you what. That's one of those things where late in the race, maybe you don't give an inch. Early in the race, you're more inclined to do it. If you don't like the guy, though, you're going to make his life a living hell. If you're Andrew Berry, maybe that's a little bit of squeezing Ciacelli up towards the outside wall, especially on corner exit. If you're Kylo Ciacelli, you're trying to get down as early as possible on corner entry. It's going to be a fun battle to watch here at the front.
Yeah, you can see Andrew when he goes into the corner, especially into one. He's getting that front wing right up to the left rear of Kylo's car. And, oh, Kylo's going to try and cross him up now.
Wow, big crossover move from Ciacelli. That's going to trap Berry on the outside. Knock, knock. Steven C. Thompson at the door. He wants a piece. Oh, man, now Berry's going to try the cross under. 30 minutes remaining. 5 more to halfway. In what has been a very entertaining TNT Shock Series race. Ciacelli going to be able to hold on to the lead now as Berry maybe doing a little bit of tire cooling, not necessarily that you pushed him too hard. You just get him a little hot when you're battling like that. Back off for a couple of laps, get the tires back down to temperature range, and then you start going nuts again.
Yep. Battles in this car is almost like dogfighting in aircraft, where you go, you engage with your opponent, you're going, you're shooting, then you break away and wait till the next engagement. It's not a constant battle for the whole race long. You kind of got to pick and choose a little bit.
Nick Camargo, Nagisa Yoshikawa with a great battle off of turn number 4. Yoshikawa way up to the safer barrier, exiting the corner. He's trying to keep that thing wound up on the outside. Maybe grab a little gravity. Oh, buddy, hold on to it. Nice save, Nick Camargo. The AJ, that was impressive. Maybe not save of the night, if only because that's going to go to Rick Cleary for sliding sideways through an accident scene. You're going to have to really impress us if you want to battle for a save of the night here. And how about it? The race lead back contested once again. One of the things that's interesting to watch here, Patrick, is how the aero push is really affecting these guys. Berry getting out and down early into turn number 3. He'll grab the race lead and try to take a little bit of air off the front of Ciacelli. Oh, and caution is out. Yellow flag is out on the racetrack. Ciacelli will be the race leader at the time of the caution. Take a look and see what happened. Looks like trouble on the racetrack for Alex Teeter and Mike Long. Ooh, Long just way missed the entry point.
Yeah, it looked like Teeter lifted and Long wasn't expecting it.
Yeah, that's kind of putting it mildly here. Take another look at it, but...
But it's like that ad we run before the races with the F1 driver texting and driving.
Texting and driving? The car that looks absolutely nothing like Max Verstappen's Red Bull. Leaders are on pit lane. In fact, just about everybody on pit lane. 26 minutes, 50 seconds remaining in the event. Peter Donchak, Rick Cleary are going to stay out, at least for a lap. They will take the bonus point. Donchak will for leading a lap. Everybody hitting their marks. Kylo Ciacelli taking tires, as is Andrew Barry. Stephen C. Thompson, I don't think did. Barry going to be the first car off the pit lane, followed by Ciacelli, Thompson, Shire, Yoshikawa, Nieje Camargo, James Watson, Simon Fell, the top 10. Get him the TV time, though. Carvana colors for Peter Donchak. He will be your race leader as Rick Cleary going to hit pit lane. Let's see if we can sneak in a quick word here with our race leader, Peter Donchak. And I'll tell you what, Petey, maybe a little bit of pitch strategy to get to the front of the field here. Do you have a plan for the restart?
I'm going to pit. I just wanted to lead a lap.
Okay, that's kind of what I figured. But
I don't even know if they do bonus points or not, but I was going for it.
Yes, we do offer the bonus point for leading a lap. So temporarily,
so there we go, and the interview.
That's right, and you get the interview. So, all right, buddy. Well, thanks for checking in with us. We'll let you get back here for to handle your pit services, and that's going to bring Andrew Barry to the front of the field. Let's see, possibly, yeah, we got another lap under caution here. Let's see if we can't talk to the new race leader, Andrew Barry. Led for a couple of times tonight, 12 laps in total thus far. How is the car, and what's anything special going through your head battling with Kylo out there?
Not really. I'm just trying to keep it all in one piece, and fingers crossed everything will hold together to the end. Yeah, it's gonna be. I don't know that we can do fuel from here, but it was a losing move to not pit right now, so I will see how it goes.
Yeah, that's the one that we were going to kind of question was I'm seeing about 75 laps to go. You're going to need some caution help here to make this last.
Yeah, I think one good caution, and we should be good the rest of the race. But yeah, it's going to be tight. It'll be interesting if we don't get that caution. battle tight, fuel save, drive like hell. Got it. All right, buddy. Good luck, and we'll let you restart here. So there you go. There's Andrew Barry, your new race leader, holding the top spot over Kylo Ciacelli, Stephen C. Thompson, Wes Shire, Nagisa Yoshikawa, the top 5. Pace car is off the racetrack. Oh, field's going to stack up a little bit. What a start for Andrew Barry. He went full Herta on that one. Slide back, pick up Wes Shire. He wants a piece of the action on Stephen C. Thompson. We haven't done one of these yet. Next time, what the hell? We'll do it right here at turn 3. Y'all at home, go ahead and crank it up.
Jason Owens getting past Zach Nurenberger for the 10th position. Now going to work on Simon Fell, but we've got the battle starting to, well, it was starting to heat up till Kylo Ciacelli had a big wiggle in turn 4. Man, the question now, because if you're Andrew Berry, do you use this chance to back down a little bit? You know they're going to catch up to you one way or the other.
I'm not sure I do, because he might be able to pull away. Clean air is king, and if these guys start battling, they might lose the draft.
Yeah, the problem is you got Wes Shire in third, and he's no dummy. Trouble on the racetrack for Peter Donchak. He was big time wiggling and slow.
Oh, he got his lap lead.
He did get the lap lead. He got the Carvana colors up on the broadcast as well. Oh, big pile up. Huge wreck, turn 4. Caution is out. Nick Camargo, Ben Carswell, Simon Fell, all going to be involved.
You can't park there.
Yeah, that is factually accurate. Ben Carswell has to take the tow. Simon Fell has to take the tow. Let's take a look and see what happened here. Looked like it may have actually been contact. Yeah, it was Watson and Nick Camargo that made the initial contact. Wow, Simon Fell ramping off one of those cars. Ben Carswell getting a piece of it as well. Let's take a look. Watson having to dive on Nick Camargo. Looks like a little bit of contact. And, man, Carswell with nowhere to go. Simon Fell with nowhere to go. I'm not sure which one of us said something, but Wade Goldblum said he said the thing, he said the thing.
Can't park there.
Brian Labarge saying, I'm still in this. Let's see. Let's get Brian up on the
Oh, man.
camera here. Oh, no, maybe not. He's not on the racetrack. So he did give us a womp womp earlier in the comments.
Wade actually just saw his first indoor race on Saturday.
Nice.
We took him up to the suite with Alex.
The Allentown indoor Coke syrup festivities. Wes Shire decided he wants no parts of this, and the important one, he wants to make sure he's good on fuel.
Yeah, hockey isn't even the most dangerous sport played at the PPL Center.
That is correct. That would be indoor racing on the Coke syrup surface. Well, I guess the PJ7 or the traction compound. They use the good stuff, but they used to use Coke syrup, just piles of Coke syrup.
Oh, yeah. No, it was way stickier this year than last year.
Next race for the Indoor Auto Racing Championship. Make sure I have my dates right here.
We'll be Atlantic City in 2
Yes,
weeks.
January 27th and 28th. Boardwalk Hall in Atlantic City for the indoor, they're calling it the Indoor Midget Car Race. It's the Indoor TQs. Then, February 24th and 25th, if you liked the Tulsa Shootout, you will want to be in Trenton, New Jersey, the East Coast Indoor Dirt Nationals at the Cure Insurance Arena. 600 micros on a custom-built dirt surface inside the arena. The last time they ran that race, John Keller put on the show of the season in all racing around the country. Spun twice in his heat race. Couldn't come out for the qualifier, which meant he started dead last in the, I believe, E main F main, G main, whatever it was, transferred all the way through and won the entire damn thing. The worst car in the show passed everybody at least twice to win the East Coast Indoor Dirt Nationals. Do not miss that one coming up the end of February up there in Trenton, New Jersey. Actually, we'll be there. We'll be covering, I think we'll be covering Atlantic City as well.
I will not be in Atlantic City. I'll be in a much better, much warmer state. 24 hours, baby.
Green flag back on the racetrack. It's going to be Andrew Berry leading. Slide back a little bit, pick up Jason Owens. He's up 15 to run in the 4th position after qualifying next to last. In fact, slowest of the drivers on time, but he said the car was quick. Wes Shire battling Zach Nurenberger. So we'll get the race leaders down in the bottom right-hand corner of the screen, at least until they start battling really tight anyway. Jason Paydu leading this train is Zach Nurenberger and Wes Shire. Stephen C. Thompson holding on. He's right there in 3rd. Jason Owens trying to catch that lead pack a little bit deeper. Wes Shire going to work on Zach Nurenberger. A little bit of arrow push there for Wes Shire off the corner. 14 minutes and 50 seconds remaining. We're seeing, man, this is going to be really tight. I'm seeing about 44 laps to go, and they've done 23 laps since the last stop. That's a 66-lap stint. That's really tight. Oh, man, what a save by Kylo Ciacelli there as well. Another bobble. Just arrow push off the corner. Gave Stephen C. Thompson a chance to catch right back in. Now you're going to have Jason Paydu, Zach Nurenberger, Wes Shire, Peter Donchak all battling. Owens starting to catch these lead 3. It may be 4. Battle for the lead into 3. Ciacelli inside. Oh, what a save. He was sideways.
You don't save that. This car is not savable like that.
Apparently it is. Man, how about it? 2x2 in the lower right box as well. We're getting shenanigans all over the racetrack here tonight. 13 and a half to go. Yes, come on in, Ben. Let's just drag him in. We're going to bring Shadow Jesus, Ben Carswell, into the booth with us. Asking if we want another analyst. Ben, not how you wanted your night to end, that's for sure. Talk about what happened. I mean, it looked like kind of just contact ahead of you and nowhere to go.
Yeah, that's pretty much accurate. I don't know if you guys replayed the incident up here in the booth, but it looked like netcode when I walked at it.
It definitely looked like you ended up with a wrecked race car.
Yeah. Which is a shame, because I really liked the race car tonight. I thought it was really good. I did a lot of work with Wes throughout the week, and we had a pretty fast car. So, real shame.
Yeah, that's one of those. It's kind of interesting that you talking about, and we had mentioned it earlier in the show. Some guys are taking Oval Week real serious, running a lot of that. Some guys were choosing to work on this. You looked like you had something there, maybe not, top 3 pace, but good enough to be quick at the end of the show.
There absolutely was a lot of speed there, but I haven't done a race yet at Phoenix. I feel like it's a track I already know, so I wasn't really paying attention to it. Just sort of letting the Richmond spirit get into me. Hometown track. Wanted a big night here. Disappointing.
Disappointing, but thank you for being willing to hang out with us here in the booth, because I don't drive anything well. Patrick hasn't driven a PM18 in, I don't know, forever. So it's good to have somebody that knows what the hell they're talking about up here with us. Following along with Peter Donchak, Jason Paydu, Nick Camargo. James Watson getting back out onto the racetrack after 8 minutes and 45 seconds worth of repairs.
Yeah, he wasn't happy about that. Although I had too much damage were done, so, he got offline.
What? No, there is no such thing in this car. I've seen them replace control arms in 2 minutes in this car.
Yeah, you would think, but it is... iRacing updated this car, and it got a little bit more delicate.
Just tell them to roll out another tub from the trailer, and it'll take the team at most 10 minutes to put it back together.
Oh, man, this battle for the lead is getting crazy. And they've got lap traffic they're coming up on. Rick Cleary going to dive down to the inside. He wants no parts of that fight for the lead. Andrew Berry holding on. Kylo Ciacelli looking inside.
I've been really impressed with Stevens. He's up front, and he's usually a top 10 shadow top 5 guy. He's right up front with those leaders, and they're staying side by side. And he's keeping up with them, too. Yeah,
and he's got the unfortunate part of when they're side by side through the corner, he has nowhere to hide from the aero push. He's just getting dirty air everywhere he looks. So it really is impressive to see him keep the car that close to the leaders all the way around this place.
He's getting the benefit of the toe, too, through the straights, which isn't huge here, but it's enough. And I think Barry tapped the wall on the exit of 4 there. And it's really tough to go too wide around this track, despite there being multiple lanes.
Yeah, the place is 8 lanes wide, but only about 1.5 of them are usable.
Yeah.
Oh, man, Barry may have tapped the wall again. Although it's these little pancakes, but... Oh, there's contact! They make contact! Barry slides up high. He's now going to be battling with Jason Owens. That's going to make Stephen C. Thompson battling Kylo Ciacelli for the race lead.
Andrew did a great job to keep that thing from going straight into the wall because it was headed there quick. I don't know how he kept that just going straight nose in.
Man, he's going to be pissed.
I was going to say, I can't wait to hear his comments after the race.
Wheel to wheel, too. It didn't look like Kylo really came up that much. It just looked like straight wheel to wheel contact. That was bizarre looking.
So the battle for the race lead is now between Kylo Ciacelli and Stephen C. Thompson.
Wow. Oh, he is right. Oh, he's going to try the top.
That was a bizzle.
You can pass on the top. You can do it.
And Andrew Berry is on pit lane. Berry is going to be out of this race, at least out of contention with damage. Rick Cleary on pit lane. We're down to 8 cars on the lead lap with 8 minutes remaining.
Right there. He's got to enter the corner. He's got to enter this first corner a lot higher, get the run off the corner, and then try and pull alongside into 3 and 4. That's kind of the only way you're going to make the move here. He's got to really diamond this corner. I don't know if he wants to wait until the very end, but Kyle's going to drive away here.
Well, maybe not. I think Ciacelli may have gotten a piece of the wall off of turn 2. Man, that car looks loose.
Oh, man, he is right there. I wonder if Andrew got alignment damage from the wheel tap, but...
That's what I'm thinking. Oh, man, Thompson now's going to have to look inside.
He's right there. It's just so hard to get a nose underneath.
Well,
and keep that momentum up.
I mean, at least from my perspective, instinctively, the guy, if you know that Ciacelli's going to run that like car width off the bottom into turn 1, my brain is saying just get inside of him. Except it's not that easy. You have to be patient and set it up on the outside.
He's a little bit higher here, but he's not getting. Oh!
What a wiggle!
Wow! There we go. Side by side.
David Thompson. Yeah, that was always my strategy in
he's up there.
Bigger open wheel cars, especially at Iowa, where I would kind of just hug the middle line with more than enough room for a car to go low. It's just you couldn't get the car to stick down there because of the aero weight coming off my car. So I'd save my tires and stay in front.
Yeah, oh man, Kyle is so loose.
By the way, this is the only battle on the racetrack right now. The only other one maybe worth taking a peek at here is going to be Jason Owens versus Wes Shire. We'll get that one up in the bottom right-hand corner for you. But you can see they're separated by about 8 car lengths or so. Well, maybe not. How about 2 car lengths? Not much at all. I think Owens may have gotten a piece of the wall. That or
fuel save.
Is he in fuel save mode? We talked about this. They are going to have to go 66 laps is what the math is saying right now.
Yeah, that's not really doable.
Unless you back way down.
I think that's what Jason's doing. I tell you who really likes this top 2 battle right here, Wes Shire. Because he is good to the end. He is confirmed good to the end. And he's got brand new tires. And he's coming pretty quick. The only guy in the field that was faster than him throughout most of the race and practice was Barry, and Barry's not up there right now.
No, and actually Zach Nuremberger sitting in a pretty decent position as well. He is also good to the end, as is Nieje Camargo. But 1, 2, and 4, Ciacelli, Thompson, and Owens, all questionable if they can make it on fuel. Already running 53 laps, and about 13 to go is what the math is telling us. This could be tight that these guys make the end. Now, if you start to back it down now, is that going to do you any good? Or are you too late in the run here and you're just not going to save enough?
Well, it's tough to save around here because there's not a ton of points where you can really lift. You know, there's not a lot of fuel-saving moments. You have to just back way off, don't shift, and then you compromise yourself all the way down the straightaway, which is how Wes got such a great run on Jason. Oh, God.
Wow.
And Steven is looking all up and down the back end of Ciacelli's car.
Man, jammed up jelly tight at the front of this one.
Is that Barry behind them?
Yeah, that's Andrew Barry right behind him, 9 laps down.
I noticed Wes Shire hasn't passed him. Oh, there's Barry.
No,
yeah.
Wes is sitting comfortably in 3rd.
Yeah,
Wes is he's his second back. He's knocked off 6/10.
Andrew Barry just set the fastest lap of the race.
Barry just set the fastest lap of the race, but perhaps more important, the 5-lap averages. Ciacelli, 19.722. 19.730 now for Ciacelli. 19.718 for Stephen C. Thompson. 19.501 for Wes Shire. He's coming in a hurry. He knows he can get there. He wants to do it clean.
Especially with the beef Barry and Ciacelli have had, I don't think Barry's going to be too timid to get into this fight and start I don't want to
Barry
say
wants to move
influencing,
Thompson,
but
and Thompson's. I think Thompson might want to let Barry go.
yeah, let Barry go and follow Barry.
I don't think
through
that's a
past
horrible
the
idea. You got 2.5 minutes. That's probably 10 laps.
Yeah, let Barry go and follow Barry through.
Well, maybe not 10 laps. Maybe closer to. Well, no, probably about 10 laps.
We're
or
seeing
probably
about
10
seven. Yeah, about
laps.
7 laps to go is what timing and scoring calculators are telling me.
Okay, there's Barry. Oh, I don't know what's going to happen here.
And 6 laps to go is the number. It would be a 66-lap stint for Kylo Ciacelli, Stephen C. Thompson, and Jason Owens. Wes Shire is still charging, but he's now over the 5-lap average, running almost identical lap times to Ciacelli at the front.
I think he
It's just
chilled
a
out a
matter
bit.
of if Ciacelli runs out of gas. Ciacelli and Thompson, if they run out of fuel, then it's game over for them.
Barry's right there.
And if
No, and
there's
Barry is not going to
contact,
hold back here.
there is no green-white checkered here in the TNT Shock Series.
Ooh. Well, a little bit of a bump.
Yep, a little bit of contact there.
Oh,
No overtime
if
here.
Thompson's smart here, he's gonna. This is his chance.
Yep.
Oh!
Ooh.
3 wide
Oh,
down
he's
the front
squeezing
stretch. Wow! What a move by
I
Ciacelli on the outside of the racetrack.
I think Andrew Barry's a little upset.
Not giving him an inch.
This is shades of Larson, Elliott, Harvick at Bristol. I really don't.
Oh,
If
man.
you're Thompson, you got to follow Barry. Follow Barry. Get behind Barry and get away from these guys.
Oh, here it comes.
Gives Barry a bump.
30 seconds remaining. It's going to be 2 laps to go, barring a caution.
And
Kylo's
look
so
who's
good at
right.
keeping the speeds up on the exit of the corner. That's why these guys can't get by him again.
Wes Shire is sitting back there looking like this is exactly what I need to see. I don't know if there's going to be time enough left, but last lap.
Is this the? We didn't get the white, did we?
We didn't get the white.
This will be the last lap, though.
This will be. Okay.
Time has expired. This is the last lap of the race. Does Kylo Ciacelli have enough fuel through 3 and 4? Twin checkers in the air. Kylo Ciacelli gets the win at Richmond. Great run for Stephen C. Thompson to come home second tonight.
Ben, I am going to let you take my spot here and sit silently during the interviews. I'm going to go have to set Fastmasters up. So, best of luck to you boys up here, and hopefully we see your faces down in Fastmasters tonight.
I was going to say, I'm going to have to plug the wheel in, but yes, I will be there for Fastmasters. If you want to run that one.
Fastmasters will be at Talladega tonight.
Oh, I have flu.
GT3 cars at Talladega. Let's go.
Ben, you do not have the flu. Let's go.
So while
It's an impressive burnout.
Kylo Ciacelli burning him down on the front straightaway, let's take a look at the race results here tonight. Winner by 6/10 over Stephen C. Thompson. Wes Shire rounding out the podium. Good run for Wes. Jason Owens, Zach Nurenberger rounding out the top 5. Owens up 15, Nurenberger up 13 to get inside the top 5. Great run for both of those cars tonight. Nick Camargo finishing 6th after starting inside the top 5. Had a quiet-ish night outside of the contact with James Watson. Peter Donchak finishing 7th, 8th to Jason Paydu, 9th Andrew Berry, and 10th James Watson. Berry finishing 9 laps behind, but giving Kylo Ciacelli all he could handle at the end there. Rick Cleary finishing 11th, Brian Labarge 12th, Nagisio Shikawa 13th, 14th to Simon Fell, 15th, our new co-host, Mr. Ben Carswell. Coming home in the 16th position here this evening will be Alex Teeter, followed by Mike Long, Jason Miller, Dave Sparks, and Joe Barvel. Race that took 50 minutes to run because it was a 50-minute timed race. all in all, a pretty darn good show. Let's get ready for the Victory Lane interviews. Let's see. We're going to kill the feed for everybody here, but let's talk first to third place finisher tonight, Mr. Wes Shire. And I'll tell you what, Wes, man, was the thought that these guys were going to run out of fuel and things would kind of just happen the way that they were happening?
Yeah, so there was that last pit stop for me was a combination of I think I'm going to take fresh tires and I'm going to make sure I'm good on fuel. And I mean, in hindsight, it worked out well enough. I finished about where I would have finished anyway. But I'll tell you what, that was by far the best car I've ever had at Richmond. To pull down a 3.2 second gap to Jason in like, what, 15 laps? This set's a keeper. This was phenomenal.
Well, yeah, until they brick the car again in 2023 season 2.
Yeah.
It's interesting here. We didn't have the updated points, but this is a big one here tonight for you because Andrew coming home 9th, you're picking up a podium. This is one of those races that becomes a big momentum swing when you start thinking about championships. Now that we're going to kind of be every other week till the end of the season.
Yeah, plus first race up next is our first visit ever to Five Flags, a place that is the only place I've ever done anything fast in my life at. So hopefully I'm feeling pretty good about that. We'll see after a little more testing. I've got a couple of gigabytes worth of telemetry to sort through for that, but should be fun next week. Looking forward to really getting the season rolling there.
That's disturbing that you have gigabytes worth of telemetry data from this car, but not unsurprising whatsoever. Wes, congratulations, a fantastic third place run here tonight. And before we let you go, make sure you get all the sponsor plugs and thank yous taken care of.
Yeah, as always, got to thank you guys for the broadcast. Got to thank Jason for putting this all together. Shout out to Homestead Coffee, keeping me alert enough to realize what's going on up ahead of me and to, make sure I stayed third there, shall we say. As well as, of course, a shout-out to my other life as a D&D live streamer. You can catch us on Twitch and YouTube, twitch.tv, youtube.com/Tales from Rukon. We're over there. We're taking a couple weeks off here at the beginning of the new year, but we'll be back soon.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you much. We appreciate you checking in with us here. And now time for us to talk with our runner-up finisher here tonight, Mr. Stephen C. Thompson. And, man, I'll tell you what, bud, you gave Kylo everything he could possibly handle late in that race. Ultimately, just not enough. Was there anything you could have done differently late in that race to get yourself one spot up on the podium?
Definitely yes. That's the easy answer and the expected answer. After what we saw with a lot of the netcode crashes tonight, I was lucky. I got a 4X off the start, and I was just paranoid the whole rest of the race. It's like, well, if we just stay up here, we'll finish the race. It's, you just kind of expect to stay at the front, finish at the front, and it feels like everyone around me kind of just ran into trouble. I think I probably could have gone at Kylo. But he was being very aggressive on the defense. And honestly, I was coming out ahead on points on all my top competitors right now. So I was more than happy with the second. And unfortunately, this is like the second race in a row where I don't finish with bonus points. So I'll still take the points haul for second.
Well, this is a big one, though. I mean, kind of the willpower strategy of just point the hell out of them, podium the hell out of them all season long. That's what we're seeing out of you here. These consistent runs, that's what leads to championships.
Yeah, you expect to get a win eventually. Oddly enough, I got a first Silver Crown win on Monday night, and apparently it was 2.5 years since I had won in anything on an oval that wasn't an Indy Pro. Still need that win here in TNT on the oval at least. But I think everyone that came out and kept with it. They really had a good setup and they really had their rhythm. I think it was just broken up by some untimely cautions. And the top four, Wes somehow clawed back up there just because he had the pure pace. But the top four were good to go on fuel, and Wes put himself at the back of the pack for no reason. But everyone around me was still competitive. It was still relatively clean, even though we came out with a lot of damaged cars. But that's Richmond. I remember Richmond races where you don't get past lap one. So we'll take it that.
Yeah, I was going to say, I had a couple of those. Early on, I drove in this league, and good Lord, there were some ugly, ugly races here. But thank you much for checking in with us. We really appreciate it. Before we let you go, though, one final question. What was it like with the battle with you, Kylo, and then Andrew Berry is there for a handful of laps at the end? Obviously, he was not happy with Kylo. How do you react to that in the spot you were in?
Well, whether he was lapped or fighting for position, I honestly wanted to stay in third because I thought it was the catbird seat the whole time. I honestly thought that they were going to wreck, just because like I'm not comfortable driving how close they are. So the fact that they were getting that close through all of it, I count their blessings that they both didn't wreck. But sometimes you're what's the saying? Sometimes you're the their bug, sometimes you're the windshield. I'll be the passenger. I'll sit behind it all.
Oh, I like that one. I like the thought process. All right, buddy. Well, before we let you go here, get any sponsor plugs and thank yous taken care of, and congratulations once again on another podium.
Yeah, we'll just give a shout out to Team Watson Racing Setups. I'll thank them for the win on Monday, and I'll thank him for the win on well, not the win here, the the runner-up finish and the good race car today, because I think they've got something really good going on there, and we'll see everyone at Phoenix.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you much. We appreciate you checking in with us here, and now time to talk to our race winner, guy who was good all night, very aggressive both on offense and on defense. Kylo Ciacelli, congratulations, back-to-back wins in the TNT Shock Series.
Yeah, it's been a successful winter break, I guess. Opening and closing it there with a couple of victories. Not too bad, and it helps in the points battle as well. Get me back in there.
Yeah, one of the things in just talking to Steven, he mentioned that you were being very aggressive on the defense here tonight. Is that something that you kind of have to do here at Richmond, or is it kind of the case where clean air is king, and that's just the driving style, and if they're going to get past you, they're going to have to do it the hard way?
It's more of the latter there, Chris. That's my way of going fast, and it works for me. 2 wins in a row and a couple wins on the ovals is a good stat to back it up with, and I'm going to continue to do it, really. From my point of view, nothing wrong was done. I held lines when I made my defense, and I didn't do anything outside of the rules.
Well, and I would imagine this is also probably feeling pretty good here as we're getting ready to head into Phoenix and Oval Week on the official side of things. Now do you kind of put this behind you, and now you're full force focused up on Phoenix here and coming up in a couple of nights?
You know what? It normally would be, but I'm not going to be here this week for the Oval on official. I've got another engagement I'm going to go to, so we'll be missing the race. I'll try and check in at the event and say hello to everybody, but you won't see the number 93 on Thursday night, unfortunately, so we'll leave it to the rest of the guys to put on a show.
Well, that means you'll be unable to defend your back-to-back wins in 2022 Season 4, but looking forward to seeing you here in a few weeks when we get back to the ovals again for the open wheel doubleheader. Congratulations once again on the win here, Kylo. And before we let you go, make sure you get all the sponsor plugs and thank yous in.
Yeah, of course. Thanks to you guys for the broadcast as always, and doing the coverage that you do. Big shout out to Limo Boys Racing, Team Watson Racing for the setup help. Nagisa and I were talking a little bit before the session, and we did some tweaks. He gave me some advice, and I did a little thing, and it worked. And I ended the race on 48% on the right rear tire, but it was enough to get me over the line. So shout out to him. Of course, all the sponsors on the car that don't know I put their names there, Pit Viper, Petro Canada, Cannabis Retail Store, and the Choco Farms. Thanks a lot, guys.
All right, buddy. Well, thank you much. We appreciate you checking in with us here. And Ben, we'll come to you here as we get ready to close things out. Interesting what we heard from Kylo, what we heard from Steven. It sounds like this is going to be the recurring theme of the season. You want to get past Kylo Ciacelli, you've got to do it the hard way.
I mean, it's racing. You're not going to give anything up for free. Kylo's really fast. I mean, I think he knows that if Andrew gets a clean head of steam, he can kind of take off, and I wouldn't want to let Andrew by either. rewatching that incident with him and Andrew, I don't really see a lot of place. I think it was just that vertex of danger thing. Andrew didn't see him, honestly, and
Yeah,
I
that's
think it's just a reputation thing at this point. Kylo's known for hard, aggressive driving.
well, and something that you see in the real world that you don't get in sim is, at least in most cases, and especially in this league, is in the real world you're going to have spotters, and that spotter is going to say coming inside, coming outside, 3-back, 2-back, half-back. You're going to get a lot of information in the sim. Even with crew chief or something like that running, you're still only going to get an indication of alongside. And when that actually triggers, that's how you end up with the incidents like that. When it's two guys going for the same piece of real estate, both cars aren't going to fit there. And without that extra bit of chatter in your ear telling you what's going on, you're going to keep having those incidents if you run this close.
Yeah, I think that's what happened with me and Brian earlier in the race. I had sort of a wing alongside his rear tire, and I don't know if it triggered his spotter. If he had a real spotter up there on the stand looking, they would have been able to say, "Hey, looking inside, 48's looking inside," but he doesn't have that information. He just gets a car inside, as he's already going to the apex. So
Right.
You're going to get this stuff, especially at the short tracks where you run, where there's not a lot of space. 5 Flags is going to be an interesting race in 2 weeks because it's kind of narrow, and there's the corners are very tight. It's going to be a lot more of this, honestly.
Yeah, I think we're going to see a lot of that coming up in a couple of weeks here. And we got a lot coming up here on the National Racing Network as well over the rest of this week. Coming up Thursday night, the U.S. Open Wheel doubleheader heading off for Oval Week at Phoenix. Don't want to miss any of that one. Coming up at 10 p.m. in the East, U.S. Open Wheel C Race, followed by the 9 p.m. Strength of Field rebroadcast of the U.S. Open Wheel D-Class Series races. But with that, we're getting out of here. It's time to go driving Fastmasters. For Ben Carswell, Patrick Byrne, and everybody here at the National Racing Network who makes these shows happen, my name is Chris Graham. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. We will talk to you all later. Have a good night, everybody.